up to. If you're feeling lonely and blue, I'm here for you and I've got stories too. If you're feeling lost and alone, I hope with my voice you'll feel at home. This is Sarah's Bedtime Stories, The Art of 20s. Young love, sweet love. First love never dies. That's what they say. First love, young love. It's fun, genuine, exciting, meaningful, unforgettable. How old were you when you met your first love? Me? I'm 12 or 13. Basta bata pa. Just a backstory why I thought of having this episode. I was having a conversation with a friend and we ended up remembering stories about our first love, young love, sweet love. So, salamat sa kaibigan ko na nagkwento. Meron akong podcast episode. It's funny how these stories were years ago, decades ago, but they still have something that we can learn from. And ngayon ko lang din na-realize, alam niyo yun, they say, when you're still young, what you are feeling might just be a crush, infatuation, puppy love. And alam nyo, before, naniniwala din ako dito. Pero ngayon na nasa late 20s ako, I feel like it's not just that. Kasi meron akong mga natutunan. Marami actually. And for me, it is something deeper than what I thought it was. To tell you honestly, when I was young, like elementary to high school, merong mga nagkaka-crush sa akin. Uy, totoo. Medyo marami nga, actually. Wow. Feeling. Pero, totoo, seryoso. Nung mga kabataan days ko, meron talaga akong mga admirers. Talaga naman, oy. Kaso, sabi nila noon na kapag ka bata ka pa, wala pa yon, or kapag ka nag-graduate ka, mas marami ka daw makikilala na mas gusto mo, na mas mapapasaya ka. Ako naman noon, naniwala. So, to cut the story short, nakapag-graduate ako ng college, nakapag-graduate din ako ng MA, nag-expect ako ng mga sinabi nila, pero yun na nga, wala. Wala pa rin. Buti na lang, maganda tayo. Pero, anyways, I asked my listeners about what they remember about their first love. And you know what? Despite our differences, there are still similarities with our stories about our first love or young love, sweet love. #relate. Nakakakilig. Matamis. Pero, alam mo yon, habang binabasa ko yung mga kwento, nagkakaroon din pala sila ng hangganan. No matter how you thought it would last for a long time, forever, eventually the stories will come to an end. And just like what we always ask, bakit kailangang magwakas? What makes it interesting for me is that most of the stories that I received or the responses that I got, their first love or young love lasted for years. Matagal na pagkakakilala, matagal na samahan. 5 years, 7 years, 9 years, yun yung mga minimum ng mga sumagot. And siguro, bakit kaya ganun, no? Bakit kaya nagtagal? Tapos naisip ko, Baka mali ako, pero sabihin ko na din. Siguro dahil nung mga panahon na bata tayo, hindi pa ganun karami yung mga responsibilidad natin sa buhay. Kaya mas nabigyan natin ng oras at panahon ang pag-ibig. Wow! I mean, wala pa namang bills noon, wala pa namang overtime, wala pa namang part-time. And may mga love stories din na nag-end up sila together, which is for me nakakabilib din, for a love to last. And alam niyo yun, ako pinangarap ko din to before na meron akong maging someone na makakasama ko from high school, college, work, career, ganon. Pero hindi yun pala yung para sa akin din. Pero feeling ko masarap din sa feeling yung kasama mo siyang nag-grow or sabay kayong nag-grow from your younger years up to now na hindi nyo na-outgrow yung isa't isa. Meron din naman na hindi nag-end up together. Merong mga nagtapos talaga yung relationship nila kasi they decided to part ways, na gusto pala nilang gawin yung mga bagay na yun mag-isa, or meron silang kailangan i-discover sa sarili nila mag-isa na hindi kasama yung partner nila. Change of priorities and other reasons that I do not know. So if you have anything to share, feel free to tell you or to share with you some of the responses that I've got from my listeners is that sabi nung isa, hindi kasi sila nagpapakilala, mahilig maging anonymous yung aking mga listeners. So guys, reveal din pag may time. Pero anyways, sabi niya, for 9 years, they were each other's first love. Imagine, halos isang dekada. And hanggang ngayon, hinahangaan pa rin daw siya ng kanyang young love. #sana all. Pero, the other story was about having a young love but ended up with regrets and what-ifs. Lucky for those who still have the chance to do something about it. Kasi, kung may what-ifs ka pa and kung mayroon ka pang mga regrets at pwede pa kayong dalawa, edi pwedeng may chance pa. Pero what if wala na? What if it's too late for you to say your regrets or to express your feelings to your first love, young love, diba? So, sad. Lucky for those who were able to save the friendship din naman. Gaya ng kwento ni Kuya Irel, yung kanyang first love, hindi nagtapos doon eh. Naging magkaibigan sila kasama nung partner ni Kuya Irel ngayon. So, it's like, yung first love mo, kumare mo na ngayon. Diba? Anyways, different stories, different endings, but it all started with a genuine and pure love. That's what I say. Talking about first love, during those times when I had mine, what I can remember is that labels are not that popular that time. Tama ba ang term ko, labels? More on friendships kasi sila. Doon sila nag-uumpisa. And then, naging uso nun yung term na MU, may mutual understanding. Pero sabi nila, kinalaunan, naging malabong usapan daw yon. Pero, alam ko, meron din naman sa amin nun na mga in-relationship talaga. Pero madalas, nung time namin, someone you love or someone important to you is your best friend. Yun yung tawag. I don't know if may makaka-relate sa akin. Pero yun na nga. Usually, ito yung love na nade-develop kasi lagi kayong magkasama. Kasi high school, whole day sa school, maraming projects, extracurricular activities. Kumbaga, maraming kayong nakakausap at nakikilala. And then, dahil regular ang schedule, nagiging constant and consistent. And while I am having these thoughts about young love, I realized that first love or young love, whatever you call it, has taught us lessons even if we found it in our younger years. Lessons that we can still apply up to now. Feeling ko. Why did I say that? Diba, kapag high school, marami kayong projects and madalas hindi natin forte lahat ng yon. Kasi ito yung mga panahon na kinikilala din natin kung alin yung mga talents natin, skills natin, diba? Tapos, May mga pagkakataon na stress ka na kung ano ang gagawin mo, pero buti na lang may mga mabubuting nilalang na tutulong sa'yo, di ba? I remember yung friend ko, sabi niya sa akin, yung first love niya daw, tinuruan siya sa math. O kaya tagagawa siya ng mga project. Alam niyo yung parang sa sabon, yung kailangan mo siyang gawing parang bulaklak. Kayo rin ba gumawa ng project na yun? Sabi ng friend ko, sobrang hirap na hirap daw siya that time to the point na nasistress na siya, hindi niya na alam if matatapos niya yung gagawin. And then dumating itong si First Love, tinulungan siya, natapos siya. So naging happy siya, di ba? And that story reminds me, nung ako naman nun, pinakaayaw kong ginawa sa buong high school ko is yung aking TLE subject. Hi, Sir Ronel! Yung drafting. Hindi kasi talaga ako marunong mag-drawing. Or should I say, hindi kasi ako makagawa ng straight line. Kahit may ruler, hindi talaga siya nagiging straight line. Lagi siyang tabingi. So, nung mga panahon na yon, sobrang hirap na hirap ako. And alam nyo ba, meron pa doon sa drafting namin yung parang may top view. Parang yung mga boxes siya na, I forgot the term pero parang boxes siya na kailangan mo siyang i-drawing na parang naka-top view or side view, gano'n. Hindi ko na maalala. Basta, yun yung pagkakataon na sobra akong napuyat. Like, umaabot ako. Alam ko yung Korean drama nun, it's Baker King kaya pinapanood ko nun yun. Kasi, meron kaming unang plate nun, para siyang freehand na lettering. So, walang gagamit ng ruler, basta normal. Alam niyo yung isang sketchpad, naubos ko yata yung papel nun kasi lagi ako nagkakamali. As in, sa stress talaga ako kasi puyat na ako. Tapos di ko pa siya natapos. At ito pa yung pinaka nakaka-stress. Yung grade ko dun sa plate na yon 75. Tapos grabe sabi ko sa sarili ko, hindi ko talaga to talent or hindi ko talaga to skill. Kaya yun. Nung nangyayari yun, buti na lang, I have my best friend noon and siya yung gumawa. And compared dun sa paggawa ko yung sa kanya, malinis, mabilis. So, hindi na ako na-stress. Ang sarap ng pakiramdam nun na kapag ka may mga bagay ka na hindi mo kayang gawin, tinutulungan ka intentionally, voluntarily. Tama ba yung term ko? And at the same time, ako naman nun, tinutulungan ko rin naman siyang gumawa dun sa mga projects niya na magaling naman ako or interested ako. May sariling build-up. Pero what I realize is this story reminds me of parang hashtag teamwork. May time nga nun na ako, top 1 ako sa klase ko. Tapos siya parang kahit hindi siya nagkakaroon ng top before, naging yata siyang top 6, parang ganon, dahil nga nagtutulungan kami together. So, super proud sa pakiramdam nun, pag high school kami na parang pagparehas kayong nag-top or parehas kayong nag-excel. Parang noong mga panahon na yun yung hashtag relationship goals. So, this might be a simple story, but I realized that sana ganoon din ang love when we get older, na you'll find someone na aantabay sa'yo, aalalay sa'yo kapag may mga bagay ka na hindi mo na kayang gawing mag-isa. Yung handang magbigay ng tulong kasi ayaw kanyang mahirapan, ayaw kanyang ma-stress, and at the same time, you will achieve goals together. Parehas kayong nag-grow, parehas kayong nakaka-achieve ng goals na magkasama. Kasi I realized then na ito pala yung love language ko nun, yung time na we are doing things together. Because the more I spend time with a person, the more ko siyang na-appreciate. And the more na binabawasan niya ang stress ko sa life, the more ko rin siyang na-appreciate. So, yeah. Another thing, when we were young, wala pa tayong pera nun, 'di ba? Saktong baon lang ang meron tayo, pero why did it feel so special for us? I mean, na-feel natin yung effort nun. Or ako lang. I mean, dati, sobrang uso kasi ng mga love letters. Alam mo yung sa isang page lang ng papel, tapos lalagyan nyo ng drawing, gamit lang ang ballpen. Alam niyo yung mga drawings like Cupid, o kaya yung flower na parang patong-patong na petals. Basta yung marami siyang petals. Tapos, nung time na yon, wala pa tayong kaanong access sa text, sa social media. Pero the value of communication was felt. Ito alam to ng mga students ko kung nakikinig sila that time. Kinuwento ko to sa kanila nung ang lesson namin was about the evolution of media. Kasi that time, mga 2000 something, early 2000, ang mahal kasi ng unlimited call. Alam ko nun for 3 minutes, 10 pesos yun. Tapos if for 5 minutes, 15 pesos yun. Pero kami nagre-register kami dyan para magkaroon kami ng chance na maramdaman lalo yung communication. Pero noong mga panahon na yon, minamaximize talaga namin yung mga unlimited text or unlimited call para mas makilala namin yung isa't isa nung panahon na yon. Nung panahon nga rin na yun, parang ang tagal naman nung panahon na yun. Pero I mean, that time, hindi na lang naman namin pinag-uusapan yung mga kumain ka na ba, anong ulam mo. Hindi lang naman siya ganun. More like questions sila na naging daan para mas malaman namin kung ano yung mga gusto nila, ano yung mga personality nila. Hindi ko na maalala kung ano yung mga questions na to, pero I'm sure na yung mga pinag-usapan namin na yun were memorable, or yun din yung mga naging dahilan kung bakit namin mas natandaan or mas nakilala yung mga tao na yun or yung isang tao. And other than these things, yung pagiging ma-effort namin when it comes to communication, dagdag mo pa dyan yung kapag lalabas kayo, sabihin na nating date, kahit fast food lang yan, o kaya sa may kanto, barbecuehan, o kaya sa may mga nagfi-fishball, o kaya yung mga burger machine, ganyan lang yung mga date sa amin, o kaya sa may plaza, may kanto fried chicken, o kaya naman, kunwari, mag-uusap kayo sa school, o kaya habang pupunta kayo sa computer shop, magpiprint, sabay kayo. And minsan, habang naghihintay kayo ng service pa uwi, nandun lagi yung mga conversations na meaningful. Nandun yung pakiramdam na merong nakikinig sa'yo. This is the part that I missed the most when it comes to communication sa mga relasyon, na the communication itself is intimate, na yung pag-uusap mismo, para na siyang date, or wala, nararamdaman mo kasi na nakakapag-express ka ng sarili mo without the judgment, and masarap din sa pakiramdam yung pinakikinggan ka. Iba yung pakiramdam na yon. That feeling when you are heard. So as I was saying, ito siguro yung isa sa mga namimiss ko noon sa ngayon. Kasi ngayon, we have a lot of means to communicate. Hindi na ganun kamahal yung unlimited call and text na pwede ka nang makipag-usap kahit 3 hours. Kasi may internet na, may messenger na. Pero parang hindi ko masyadong nafe-feel, or baka ako lang to na hindi ko na masyadong nafe-feel na parang ganun siya sa dati. I remember before, sabi ko nga na kapag nasistress ako sa isang bagay, tapos tawagan ko siya or ikukwento ko to sa mga kaibigan ko, and nararamdaman ko lagi yung pakiramdam na mapakinggan ako, and hindi ko ma-explain how it felt, but it was really memorable. Also, I miss those moments na when you are having conversations, the conversations are real, meaningful, not to the point na dapat 24/7 kayo magkausap. What I mean is the quality na nakukuha mong mas maintindihan yung tao habang mas lumalalim ang inyong pag-uusap. When you are able to talk about your goals, dreams, joy, and pain. Also, alam mo yung when you are having when you are having dates, minsan meron pa rin mga kausap sa cellphone kasi may work, o kaya nag-check pa rin ng social media accounts. Yeah, it's okay to do that, pero minsan nararamdaman ko rin yung feeling na hindi ba pwedeng ako muna, dito muna tayo sa present. Kasi I remember pandemic days, ito yung pinaka na-miss ko talaga. Yung moments na pwede kayong makapag-catch up sa inyong mga friends, without the face mask, pwede kayong makapagtawanan and all, pwede kayong maging malapit sa isa't isa, yung mga tipong hampasan, pag kinikilig. Diba nung pandemic, hindi natin yun naranasan. And now that we can do it again, I feel like medyo minsan disconnected pa rin tayo because of the technology that we have. And I really miss those conversations that we can have. I wish we could be more intimate with our partners when it comes to communication. Kasi when you have this magandang pag-uusap, pagkakaintindihan, pakikinig, this can lead to a strong connection as well. And alam nyo ba, sabi dun sa nabasa ko, minsan daw, ang dahilan ng breakup is yung hindi na kayo nag-uusap ng maayos. Tapos later on, yun yung dahilan kung bakit hindi na kayo nagkakaintindihan, kung hindi na kayo nagkakaroon ng pasensya sa isa't isa kasi hindi na kayo nakakapagsabi, hindi na kayo nakakapag-open up. Yun pa naman din ang isa sa mahalaga sa isang relationship, diba? Being open and being vulnerable to each other. Sabi dun sa nabasa ko. But anyway, other than those 2 points that I've mentioned, another one is, for me, one of the best lessons that I've learned about young love is the value of friendship in a relationship. I feel like the foundation is strong when you have this. Or baka ako lang ang naniniwala na magandang pundasyon ng friendship sa isang relasyon. Kasi ako, personally, I trust my friends so much. And trust is important in a relationship. For me, it's easier to be vulnerable and honest when you know that he or she is your friend. The way you're comfortable din sa mga kaibigan mo, 'di ba? Kaya mas nakakapag-express ka. Ganon. So, marami kasi akong mga kaibigan, actually, na kapag ka magsa-start as a crush or ligaw, nahihiya sila or hindi sila makapagsalita. Pero sa mga kaibigan nila, nalalabas nila ang kanilang true self. Kaya ako siguro nasabi to. And I remember a story from someone that I know. Sabi niya, when he was in high school, he met a guy. And that time, alam ko, hindi pa ganun ka-accepted ang mga gays. But you know what? He was accepted and he was loved. Hindi lang nung guy. But pati yung mga kaibigan ng guy, inaccept siya bilang isang gay. So for me, I feel like love can really do wonders. Siguro, napakasarap sa pakiramdam nun yung tanggap ka bilang ikaw. And ikaw din, parang ang sarap sa feeling din na nakuha mong i-express yung sarili mo as ikaw, na hindi ka natatakot na ma-judge or hindi ka natatakot na baka hindi ka tanggapin. 'Di ba? So, yeah. And lastly, when you have friendship and romantic relationship, may mga times na ayaw mo ring mag-end yung relationship ninyo kasi nandun pa yung friendship na gusto mong i-save. And meron ding pagkakataon na kahit tapos na yung romantic relationship ninyo, nandun pa rin yung idea ng friendship na inumpisahan ninyo or naumpisahan ninyo. Kaya lang minsan, it doesn't mean din naman na porket nandun pa yung friendship is you can really be friends like what you did before. Kasi meron na kayong past relationship. So for me, I feel like the friendship is still there, pero LDR na lang. What I mean is, merong mga pagkakataon na kahit ako, nararamdaman ko pa rin yung concern ako para sa kanya, or happy ako kung ano man yung na-achieve niya. So for me, para sa akin, it's a friendship still. Kasi meron pa ring concern or meron pa ring pagpapahalaga dun sa mga pinagsamahan namin before. Hindi siya yung parang pag nagkita kami, strangers kami na hindi kami magpapansinan. Yun yung sa akin lang ha. Hindi ko alam if ganun din yung sa inyo. Pero I've read somewhere that your partner should be your best friend. Yung bang kasama mo, kasi pag sinabing best friend or friend, yun yung kasama mo in bad times and in good times. Yung alam mo na masaya for you when you achieve something, yung hindi magsasawa sa'yo kahit ulit-ulit ka na lang sa kwento mo, yung unang maniniwala sa'yo at sa magagawa mo pa. Yung alam mo na you are safe with him or her, kaya you are okay to be as honest as possible sa kanya. Kasi hindi ka takot ma-judge. Kasi kilala mo siya. Alam mo na kaibigan mo siya. Alam mo yung feeling rin na kapag ka best friend mo siya yung gusto mong kasama sa mga ganap, 'di ba? Naalala ko nung may best friend ako, kailangan kong pumunta ng Pandayan para bumili ng project, mga gamit sa projects, o kaya kailangan kong pumunta sa Derma. Lagi kong kasama yung best friend ko. Relating it to relationships, parang oo nga no, pero sino yung tao na gusto mong isama sa mga bagay na ganun? Kasi most of the time, when he or she is your someone, you want to be with him or with her sa mga travel destinations, concerts, museums, restaurants, yung mga talagang ganitong places. Pero, sino yung gusto mong makasama kung mamamalengke ka, mag-grocery? Diba? I feel like it's love for me when I want that person to be with me even on these not so romantic days. It's like adding an extra sweetness na makakasama mo siya dito sa mga bagay na medyo boring, medyo nakakainip for some. But dahil nandun siya, it feels like it's easier. Or it feels like it becomes sweeter. Ay, ano ba yun? Let me know your thoughts, guys. If kamukha ko ba kayo ng point of view pagdating doon or iba yung sa inyo. But in a relationship, if you started out as friends and you have this friendship, of course, you have to balance these two as well. Friendship and the romantic side of things. Kasi, kailangan rin naman maramdaman na hindi na lang kayo friends, diba? There is something more special other than just your friendship. So, my thoughts, young love, first love, cute stories, memorable memories, lessons. Some ended up with their first, some did not, some are still waiting. But whatever it is, one thing that I would want to share is that it would never be the same love twice. Sabi nga ng isang quote na paborito ko. I hope we can all find a love that would make us feel more alive, happier, and at peace. The love that we all deserve. If you have more thoughts about your first love and young love, let us know in the comment section. Thanks for listening to Sarah's Bedtime Stories. If you enjoyed my podcast, please like and follow me on Facebook, Spotify, and YouTube. Just search Sarah's Bedtime Stories. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at @_Sarah's Bedtime Stories. Feel free to share your questions or stories with us at sarahsbedtimestories@gmail.com. And who knows, your story might become the next episode.